What if I told you the grip on your own thoughts, the grip on your emotions, the grip on your fears, your desires is the reason and cause for you fueling the cycle of suffering? Devil is the illusion of separation, is the illusion of the matrix. And you make the matrix happy, or you make the illusion happy, you make the separation happy by wanting and desiring things more, and it seeing you unfulfilled, you feeling sad, depressed, you haven't achieved your goals, you haven't manifested the things that you want in your life. And I know it sounds a little bit crazy, but if you look back and you rewind and you go back to how we used to operate, where we were totally connected to nature, there was no I or me, there was only we, it was only about community. And they say it takes a family or a community to raise a child. We operated on a different frequency. And so what I'm trying to say here is that matrix, or the concrete jungle that we live in right now, is more about me, and how can I get to the top, and how can I manifest more money, and how can I have more success. And I'm not saying that there's something wrong with that, and I'm not saying it bad. I'm just saying you are pleasing something that doesn't need to be pleased. You're potentially pleasing something that doesn't need to be pleased, or you're potentially giving your energy to something that has a negative, effect on your self, your well-being, your sense of self, your sense of consciousness, and taking you away from raising your vibrational frequency, or otherwise known as raising your level of consciousness and tapping into the truth. I mean, some of us work 8 hours a day, sometimes 9, sometimes 10, sometimes we've got to commute 30 minutes to work, an hour to work, so that's another 2 hours, and so there's a lot going on. And then we have to cook, we have to eat, we have to do all of this stuff, and we barely get any time to really tap in, tune in, turn on, and tap into the infinite intelligence and be able to receive information, downloads, truth, and then begin operating from that space, begin operating from truth, from nature, from God, from the higher beings, whatever you want to put your label on, whatever you want to call it. And because of this, we don't realize that by projecting more things that we want in our life, we actually create this harmony within ourselves oftentimes. Not all the time, but oftentimes we do. So let me give you an example. We want the goal, we realize that we're not getting to the goal, we're procrastinating, we're resisting, we're not making progress. And for me, this is an invitation to help the spiritual ones, or God is trying to teach us that there's something that you need to realize within yourself, that it's not actually about the goal. And you can find the goal within. You can realize that you are everything. You don't need to actually get the thing can get you. And we don't want to give power to the matrix and the illusion and the Maya and the devil. We want to realize that there is no separation and that everything is one. So the ego tricks you into thinking that you need to manifest things, that you need to manifest the relationship, that you need to manifest money, that you need to go and get the car and the home, or even getting to higher levels of spirituality. The ego is trying to create a goal or a direction to get to higher states of being, when in actuality, on that level of spirituality, if we step beyond duality and polarity and we go into spirituality, we have transcended left and right. We have transcended polarity. And so things on that level operate completely differently to how things function in this 3D world. And so people say God is good. But what if I told you God is not good? God just is. God is not saying this is good, this is bad. It's just saying it is. And so you're probably thinking, well, what about feeling positive and positive vibrations and feeling good? Well, if we look at the map of consciousness on screen right now, the top 4 frequencies are enlightenment, peace, joy, love, and then below that we have reason. But let's look at enlightenment, peace, joy, love. These 4 frequencies on the map of consciousness are emotions or vibrational states that are in the non-duality, that are in the spiritual paradigm. And for us, being in the 3D world, we would judge joy as positive, love as positive, peace as positive, enlightenment as positive. But what if I told you they are not positive, they are not negative, they just is? On that level, things function completely differently. So on that level, those particular emotions or frequencies just is. There is no positive or negative on that level. So in the pursuit of wanting to raise our vibration and access higher levels of consciousness, there's a chasing still. There's still a narrative, there's still a story, there's still a trying to get to. But what we don't realize is enlightenment, peace, joy, and love are always there. Every single time, without fail. They always exist. They're not going anywhere. They are infinity. They are spirituality. They are truth. They are the nature of who we truly are. And again, on a 3D level, we describe them as positive, but they are not positive. They just are. And so we think that is something that we also have to grasp, grip onto, try and get, try and chase, try to become a high vibration. But what if I told you there is no goal on that level? What if I told you there is no separation on that level? It's just who you are today. It's who you are right now. And the only thing that is getting in the way is duality, is the mind, is the ego, and the projection of the devil wanting you to chase this enlightenment, high vibrational frequency and all this stuff, which is keeping you further trapped in the illusion and creating more suffering. The more that you go to try to raise your vibration, the more that you can create some suffering inside of yourself and creating disharmony, because it could be that you feel like I'm not there yet. There's still work I need to do. The things that I'm wanting in life is not manifesting. Why is my life not changing? Am I still a low vibrational frequency? All of these narratives and stories can come up in your mind because the ego is saying, I need to be over here. I'm not there yet. I'm watching this guy on YouTube or this lady on YouTube, and they seem to be a high vibrational frequency. They seem to be manifesting money. They seem to be having success. Other people can have success, but me, not me. It doesn't work for me. For some reason, it's not working for me. Maybe it's my environment. Maybe it's my ancestral energies, my ancestral karma, my ancestral curses. Maybe it's because I had a bad upbringing. Maybe it's because in the past I did something that I regret. Maybe it's because I had bad past lives. Maybe I just got a bad entity or energy around me. Maybe I need to go get some Reiki sessions. Maybe I need to do a clearing. Maybe I need to clear my subconscious mind. Maybe I need to go to church. Maybe I need to do this. No, right? This is chasing, external, looking, seeking, wanting, ego. And this keeps you lost in the matrix. This keeps you lost in the illusion. You already are enlightenment, peace, joy, love. You are that. You will never not be that. It is who you are, always, every single time, without fail. And again, the only thing that gets in the way is the ego edging God out. And so we need to learn to edge God in and realize that is who we already are. And anytime the mind or the ego says that you are not that, become aware is not actually you, because those duality emotions are not truly who you are. It's a function of your bodily system, your 3D body. It's a function of the ego, and you have pure awareness on the ego, otherwise known as pure consciousness on the ego. And all you need to do is tap more into that. The ego, the mind, is rooted in fear. The ego is rooted in comparison. The ego is rooted in scarcity. The first brain, the reptilian brain, the amygdala, is rooted in fear. The root of who we are is animalistic, and we need that part of our brain to contain our survival, to make us survive. And what we don't realize, we are trying to override all of that, and oftentimes that trying to override all of that is coming from a state of lack. So what I would say is understanding that if you want more money, usually it's because you want more security. Security implies that you are not secure now, which is coming from the first brain, survival. If you're operating from survival, you are operating from lack. And so what do we try to do? We try to make it happen. And then it stops being organic. It stops coming from your truth, coming from your heart. The heart is also non-duality, by the way. And many of us have been taught to operate from the mind. The heart is non-duality. It's unconditional love. And I'm talking about your physical heart and your heart chakra. This is where the lower worlds and the higher worlds meet, right? We got the 3 upper chakras, the 3 lower chakras, and the heart is where those 3 chakras meet. And this is where the transmutation happens. This is where we want to operate or learn to operate more from, and allow the heart to communicate with the brain more, because that is actually the truth of our nature. The heart is the first organ to grow in the human body. And when we can get coherence between the heart and the mind, we can improve our health, we can sleep better, we can perform and be more productive, we feel more alive, we have less stress, we get rid of anxiety and things of this nature. And it's very simple to do to get heart-brain coherent. You breathe in for 6 seconds, you breathe out for 5 seconds. Alternatively, you can breathe in for 5 seconds, breathe out for 5 seconds. It's really, really simple exercise. You can get very complex with it. I have a whole program teaching you more about this in my Awaken program. The link's in the description. You can get a free trial. But every single thing you could want, need, and desire is effortless. You don't need to manifest it. You just need to choose. You only need to choose. From that level of love and above on the map of consciousness, you only need to choose. And that's it. Choosing. Once you transcend duality and polarity, you are operating on a different frequency. The rules are completely different on that level. And so if everything just is, you just need to choose. You don't need to try and make it happen and like fight these forces, fight these pendulums, fight the left and right. If you don't know what a pendulum is an energy force that requires your energy. And so an example of this is money, rich and poor. And so you want to make more money, and then the pendulum can swing the other way and it can create a lot of problems. And so what we want to do is disconnect from this matrix illusion devil energy that is getting happy from our energy, and understanding that we are plugging ourselves into the sociopathism. We are plugging ourselves into the megalomaniacs. We are plugging ourselves into the advertisers and the people that say this and that or whatever it is. But if we rewind and we unlearn and we undo and we get back to our truth and we antivirus ourselves, so to speak, we will begin to realize that we used to function completely differently, and we used to operate on we used to operate on community. And that's what I love about my Awaken program. It's all about community. Everybody's engaging in there. We're making friends. There's group calls where you guys get to speak to each other, hang out, and it's really, really cool. And it's really transformational seeing the community come together, that we're not separate, that we are becoming one organism. And that's what we are missing in our reality. So what can you begin doing from today? Well, you can begin practicing self-inquiry. You can begin going into yourself and really asking yourself, why do I desire these things? And by the way, if we look at the map of consciousness on screen right now, you'll see that desire is a low vibrational frequency, and many of us are wanting and desiring. It's a low vibrational frequency because it keeps us in enslavement in the matrix. You see, I don't think we came here to be enslaved, right, by the system, by the matrix. I think we came here to raise the vibration, to raise the level of consciousness, and to realize what this really is and bring back harmony, especially what we call the chosen ones, or the light workers, or the star seeds, or the empaths. And so through asking yourself, by having that self-inquiry and going within and really tapping into the parts of you that need or want this thing, usually most of the time people want the things that they want because there's something lacking within, and that's coming from the reptilian first brain. Is coming from the need for security, the need of validation, the need of certainty, the need of significance. I think I said significance already, or validation, the need for love and connection. And love and connection can come from lack, right? I want love. That's almost implying that you are not love. If you're operating and you are love, you don't need to manifest love. Love will come to you because you are operating from love. The relationships, the people, the circumstances will come to you through being in the energy of love. And the love that we are speaking about is unconditional love. We're not speaking about dualistic love based on what the ego's perceived as love, not love based on our own traumas, right? Sometimes we think love is based on our wounds, and what I mean by that is we go into relationships which make us recognize our wounds, and all the universe is trying to do is make you aware of what's going on within, and that the relationship is not actually the fix to what you're feeling within. It's actually realizing that you are love and there is no separation between you and the relationship. It's just about choosing. Does that make sense? There's no need to manifest a relationship if you're wanting to manifest a relationship. You are relationship. Build relationship with yourself. And what I mean by that is true self and realizing who you really are. And relationships will manifest themselves much easier since you are in harmony with the truth. You can also practice meditating and realizing the ego narratives, realizing the stories your mind is telling yourself. Like you close your eyes and you realize your mind is like, oh, I need to cook dinner. Oh, I need to do this. I need to do that. You know, this is again, realizing that it's trying to put us back out there in the matrix. It's trying to make us escape. If you have a lot of thoughts going on when you are meditating and it's telling you to do this and you need to do that, and this is on my mind, and it's bringing you back into the matrix. Does that make sense? And that's where it wants you to go. It makes the devil happy, right? And so do you understand? Going back into the meditation and being aware, the ego doesn't want that, right? The mind doesn't want that. It doesn't want itself to disappear. It doesn't want you to disappear into the nothingness. It doesn't want you to go into void. It doesn't want you to go into God. It doesn't want you to go into truth. It wants you to be here in the matrix, stuck and attached to it, because we haven't been taught from an early age how to use the ego. We haven't been taught how to use the mind. And we can also, the third thing that we can do is focus on a state of surrender and just give up on everything. Like, and what I mean by that is give up on spirituality, right? Give up on the law of attraction, give up on manifesting, stop manifesting, just give up, be free, because you are free. And from doing that and not attaching yourself to the narratives, right? Not attaching yourself to more YouTube videos and more secrets. I need to find out the next secret and a new thing and this and that. Then, now you've found yourself. And what I mean by that is your true self. And you are building a relationship and stepping back into who you truly are, pure awareness. And as you begin to focus on being in that frequency more, you will realize that you don't need to manifest. You think something and it happens. You start thinking of something and it happens faster and faster, quicker and quicker. Because you're not playing with time, money, duality. You're not playing with that anymore. It's not a part of your game, right? You are free. You are sovereign. You are back in the truth. So you are the true observer. You are magnificent. You are big. You are small. You are everything. You are nothing. You are isness, right? You are enlightenment, peace, joy, love. And so it's time to get back to that and stepping back into that energy and realizing that you are God or a part of God. You are the isness. And so why would you manifest? Why would you need to have goals? You don't need to have any of that. It's just about realizing that the goal is you. You are the goal. So there's no need to get the goal. And once you are in that energy, the goal will naturally come. And I'm not saying that you won't need to take any action. You would require action to take you. Right? What do I mean by that? Action is always there, just like enlightenment, peace, joy, and love is always there. And so that energy is a part of who you naturally are. And once you are able to experience more of that and be free, action will take you and you will just be guided. But, we're going to step back into duality here, and we're not going to trust. We're going to be afraid. We're going to be scared. We're going to have doubts. We're going to have fears. And that's the trick of the ego, putting you back in the matrix, putting you back into delusion, putting you back into the trickery. And this is the kind of problem or challenge that we have with the ego. It's scary, right? Letting go of all of the crap, letting go of the devil. And when I'm saying all of this stuff right now, please understand that I'm not saying the devil is bad. Please understand that I'm not saying the devil is bad. It is not bad. It just is. If you're operating from that level, you don't have any labels or judgment on how the world functions and stuff like this. I'm just saying that your true nature is never outside. It's always is. And once you realize the is, you would then begin seeing everything as God, which is kind of tricky because, again, things at that level operate completely differently. There is no 1 + 1 = 2. But when we're operating from duality and polarity, that's where it becomes a little bit of a challenge, a little bit of a problem. Okay, so if you would like to continue this journey with me, definitely check out the link in the description. I'm going to be taking you on a 6-month journey, and it will really transform your life. Okay, and so I'll see you in the next video. Peace.